Welcome. Astroscoop is live. So this is actually my very first live stream. So we're going to check this out, try to work out some technical kinks here, and just see how it goes. So for those of you that follow my channel, you'll know that Astroscoop, I talk about deep dive astrology coaching. So let me talk a little bit about that. What is deep dive astrology coaching? There's so many astrologers and the like on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all over the place that use all sorts of different astrological techniques. Some are old school, right? Some are new school. And I like to think of myself as kind of neither. But I definitely combine traditional astrology with modern astrology. So for those of you that know astrology, you'll hear me talk about different techniques or words or phrases that refer to either traditional or modern astrology. So Astroscoop is deep dive astrology coaching. So I'm actually a certified professional coach, and that's one piece that I add to my astrology piece. And there are, like I said, there's so many astrologers on YouTube alone that use all sorts of different techniques and all different ages. And one thing you should know about astrology, and if you see this live stream, I'll probably keep it as a replay because this is just practice for me since I haven't done it. So this is just practice and kind of doing a spontaneous, video sort of thing. But please leave in the comments, either in the chat or after. Let me know what your level is for astrology. So are you beginner? Are you intermediate? Which would be you'd have a basis, all the beginning basis, and then you're just starting to either read charts or learn about techniques. Are you intermediate advanced, where you can read a chart and then you can even do more than that, and you can start to put things together? Are you advanced expert, where you have a really good working knowledge of astrology and can give people, effective readings? Or are you a master? And I've read so many astrology books over the last 30 years probably. And there are many astrology books out there that are so far out and so detailed that I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. I couldn't even get through half of the book. So every astrologer or people that do this work or believe that it's effective should know your place. Should know your place as far as your skill level, but also there's so much else that goes into astrology. There's psychology, there's sociology, there's intuition, there's sensation, there's feelings. So there's so much that goes into what most of us do with astrology. Most men and women do, whether we're in our 20s or 60s. And the astrologers on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter run the gamut of all the ages, that's another thing that's really interesting to me, is the generational perspectives on how they view and treat astrology. So what is deep dive astrology coaching, right? What is that? It just basically means that I take modern or traditional astrology and I combine it with a motivating coaching technique. So I coach and I give a reading. Some people just coach, some people just give readings. I kind of blend the two. And I've seen a couple other men and women on YouTube and Twitter, or X, that also do a kind of a similar technique that I do. And I really enjoy that because it's a beautiful blend. It's a really beautiful blend. And every astrologer from the mundane astrologer to the most advanced that has written mathematical books. If an astrologer is coming at astrology from the right place, there's something you can learn from almost any astrologer. So there's things that I don't know, no matter how much I've read, no matter how much I've practiced. There's certain areas that I'm not going to be strong in. And that's also going to be the case for other astrologers as well. And so you have to take that with a grain of salt. But it's astrology coaching. So I'm really looking at it from a point where what are your strengths and weaknesses as far as the signs, and also as a person, your involvement as a person. Where are you in your level of involvement? Where are you on your path in life? Maturity level, but much more than maturity level. Where are you emotionally, psychologically, spiritually? Where are you going? Where are you heading? And that's kind of where I combine the coaching and the astrology. And of course, all of you know, or you probably should know, that astrologers come from different backgrounds. So you have Vedic and Hindu, Indian astrology, sidereal astrology, which some say is the true, correct, precise, perfect astrology, which is debatable, but there's a lot there. And then, of course, tropical astrology, which is what I use in my software and which a lot of astrologers use. I know a lot of people are critical of tropical astrology. There's definitely groups out there that are quite incisive about how they feel it's inaccurate. But look at it this way. If you're looking for answers, is there just one way to find the answer? Okay, sometimes there's one answer to a question, but most of the time you can get answers through different paths. You can take different roads and different routes. So that's kind of how astrologers do that. Astrologers, psychics, healers use these different techniques to arrive at conclusions and answers to help you. And if the accuracy is in the eye of the beholder, so obviously you could feel it's accurate or inaccurate, but people will use different branches of astrology or different branches of disciplines of the sciences and healing arts to come to answers and that sort of thing. So I use tropical astrology. My main thing is you've seen in my videos, I will often have in the corner, I have a little wheel. I'm talking about a celebrity, and I'm talking about his or her sun sign or the moon, usually the sun sign, and or their rising. So I love natal birth charts. I think they're just amazing. It's an amazing blueprint to really get answers and to help find out subtle things astrologically that can help you bring out strengths and weaknesses. I do transits, which are the current transits right now. So the winter solstice, this is the chart for today. I know you probably can't see this too well. Maybe I'll try to have a bigger wheel in a future chat. But this is today's chart for New York Eastern Standard Time, exactly for 8 p.m., which was 11 minutes ago. So if you look at it here, you can see that's a little messy, but that's the Capricorn ingress, and Mercury, which was in Capricorn, is now retrograde in Sagittarius. So we have the whole Mercury retrograde thing too. So that's an interesting thing. And that's part of the reason why I want to find out, people that are watching me, I want to find out where your level is of astrology so that I can try to cater the videos more to you, more to that audience. I don't want to make videos that are too simple, but I don't want to make videos that are too complicated either. And that takes a little fine tuning sort of thing. Saturn return readings, that's another thing that a lot of people have heard about. Your Saturn return occurs between 28 and 30 years old. and then you have subsequent Saturn hits in your natal chart with the progress charts, with the progressions or perfections that some people say, every 7 to 8 to 9 years after that. So any of you that are between 28 and 30 years old right now, you are in the thick of your Saturn return, or you're just ending it. And it's a big wake-up call to kind of, to kind of grow up and move on and be an adult. So that's something I love doing. Intuition, I'm big on intuition and practicing that and developing that, especially with grounding techniques. And a lot of that is just meditation. A lot of it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to read complicated books necessarily or take complicated courses. You need to get quiet if you can. You need to get quiet, and not just your mind. You have to get your body quiet, which is hard for people, which is really, really hard. And it doesn't come overnight. I mean, you have to work on it. It's a thing. And then, so that's a little background about me for those of you that haven't seen any of my videos, or especially the early ones where I talked about kind of what I do. But please leave me comments as far as what you might want to see for 2024 in the new year, as far as what kind of videos you'd like to see. Do you want to see more tutorial videos where I teach you step by step, like we start from square one? Do you want to see more overview videos about how a transit affects all 12 signs? Compatibility is very big with people being compatible with certain signs or certain placements. And all that is super fun, but I'm just trying to narrow it down for the new year. So here's some interesting stats that I looked at on my YouTube studio. Now, if you're watching this, you can see that I'm 1 subscriber shy of 400. So I'm a microscopic little baby tiny channel. But there was a time where I had 100 subscribers and I was stuck there. So for me to go from 100 to 400 almost, I'm pretty happy with that. And there's a couple channels I follow on astrology on YouTube that have 3,000 and 4,000, and they were just in the several hundreds not too long ago, and they ballooned to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 subscribers. So that's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing, and astrology can be really helpful as long as the practitioner, the person doing it, isn't deceptive. That's a big thing. You just have to be, just in general, right? You have to be a little guarded about people being too tricky, or trying to trick you into something. If it doesn't feel right with someone, you should trust that. It's, the chemistry might not be there. So that's definitely something. But in the last 30 days, 16% of you viewers, 18 to 24. So that's interesting. 23% of you are between the ages of 25 and 34. Now, I would have thought that would have been lower just based on my age, but that's interesting, 23%. This one is 35 to 44-year-olds. So basically millennials, or older millennials, are 20% of my views. This is interesting. 17% is 45 to 54-year-olds. So the Generation X people that are right in the core of it are 17%. 15% of you are between the ages of 55 and 64. And then the lowest on the scale, 7% of my viewers in the last month are 65 plus. So, so if you're 65, excuse me. So if you're 65 plus, I really appreciate you watching, because you're making up basically 7 out of 100 views, which is really small. But I appreciate that, because it's good to know that older people are keeping fresh and still learning, no matter what your age is. whenever, this is a red flag to me, whenever I see a practitioner, a healing person, astrologer, tarot person that claims to know it all. They've studied, they've gotten degrees, certifications, and they're a certain age. They're 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, whatever. And now they've stopped and they've kind of settled and crystallized into their own thoughts and say, well, I pretty much know it all. And they could have a mastery of the subject, but you never know it all. You never know it all. And it's great that older people are watching my channel, even if it's a small group, and very young people. 16 out of 100 are between 18 and 24. So that's awesome too, because there's a variety of people here that aren't anywhere near my age. So I really do appreciate that. This is what's really interesting to me. Let's see. Oh, I see the chat. Oh, hold on. Hello there. I'm going to say thanks. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know there's, yeah, I mean, it'll take forever to get a crowd in here, but I can do a replay, which will be good. But this is so interesting that in the last 30 days on Astroscoop, I've had, I think, several hundred or maybe 1,000 views, which isn't a lot, but 69.5%. So almost 7 out of 10 people watching my channel in the last month are male, are men. And I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that so many men are watching astrology videos. And I hope that my videos are helping to coach you in a sense. By watching the videos, it's helping to coach you to be better or to improve in some way, because I feel like that's what it does for myself. So that's awesome. And then so 30.5% or 3 out of 10 people are female that have watched my video. Now, in the very beginning when I started and I was like in the hundreds of views, I had hardly any views. I had 70 or 80% female. So this whole YouTube thing is really strange. And I watched a lot of different creators, astrology creators, tech YouTubers that talk about they've been doing this for years and they still don't understand the algorithm and how it trends and searching and all that stuff. So this is more stuff for me to learn and try to do it. Not easy, but got to try, right? So that's so cool. 7 out of 10 of you are male. So I really appreciate that. And I hope that you vibe more with the channel in the new year as I do different types of videos. And if you're a male, let me know in the comments, or maybe on my last video, I just did Sag Capricorn Cusp. Let me know in the comments of a video, say that you saw this, and let me know what you'd want for videos about astrology that might help you as a male, and let me know what your age is too, because then I would know your planets. I would know your Saturn and your Uranus, your Neptune, your Pluto. So I would know all that stuff, and maybe be able to do a free reading or a micro reading for someone, so that it could help someone else, that's the same age as you. So let me know. Don't forget to comment. Oh, by the way, as far as comments, I had someone comment this week. A woman commented and said that she's been leaving comments for me, but they were deleted, so she couldn't find them. Now, I haven't deleted. I never delete comments. If I got a rude comment, I might, but I generally do not delete comments. So I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if it was a glitch, but I'll look into that. I'll definitely look into that. But keep the comments coming. It helps to engage the channel. I know everyone talks about YouTube. Growing a channel is the engagement, the likes, the shares, the comments, so forth. You know, all that stuff. So that's a good thing. What else do we have here? So this is a huge thing that I didn't realize. I really need to be looking more at the details of my stats on a monthly basis when I'm doing my videos, so I can try to fine tune it. 98.5% of you, that's almost 99 out of 100 people, are not subscribed to my channel. So that means there's hundreds or thousands of people watching my videos, but they're not subscribing. So let me know. Let me know if there's something about the channel you think could change. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm open to that. And let me know specifically, like what you might not have liked about a set of videos, or what might have been boring or a turn off or something, so that we can look at that and see. Because only 1.5% of you that are watching my views or watching my videos, only 1 to 2 out of people out of 100 are subscribed. So that means the people that are subscribed, either you're not getting notified, so you want to go on your YouTube page, you want to go on, when you see Astroscoop, you want to click the bell, the notification bell, and then you want to do either all, which means you'll get all my videos every time it comes out, and you'll get it in real time. It will push to your device, to your tablet, your phone, or computer. You can do personalized, which the algorithm, based on what you're watching, will suggest certain videos of mine based on length and content, which might be good for you. But there's different things on the bell notification. I do that all the time with all the people I'm subscribed to. Some people I want to see every video, and then other people I just put personalized, and it'll give me certain ones. I like to watch phone videos about smartphones and technology, and so some creators post 3 times a week. So I don't necessarily want every video, but I'll do personalized, and then I'll get 1 video every 10 days or something. So that's something you can do. I generally post weekly. I try to do once a week. Once in a while, I'll have 2 in a week. I try to add 1 or 2 extra videos per month. And that's going to be my trend for the new year for 2024, is I think I'm going to probably do shorter videos, and I'll be try to do, 1 week will be like a more substantial video. The second week would be 2 shorter videos. The next week, 1 video, 2 videos, and so forth, to cover more of the transits and more of the timely content for astrology. But the subscriber base, I would love to get that up. So any of you that watch my videos, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing that. It's free. You can subscribe right on the page there. You can either subscribe right where you're watching my video, or you can go into my channel page on YouTube. And please subscribe, because it's free. And for us microscopic little baby channels, every subscriber is how we're going to grow. So I don't care how long it takes. I'll hang in there. But we can grow very, very slowly. But don't forget to subscribe. So that's why you see YouTubers always saying that, or putting the banner, because it's very important for people. And what did I want to talk about? This is really cool. So in the last 30 days, hold on 1 second. In the last 30 days, I've had 35% of my views, or 3 to 4 out of 10 of my views, of several hundred or 1,000 views, have been from Indonesia. Indonesia is my #1 country right now. So if any of you are watching or see this from Indonesia at a later date, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And I'm very curious to know why specifically in Indonesia there's a surge in, I wonder if it's maybe because of the Sagittarius period we were in, Sagittarius or Capricorn maybe, the Scorpio Sagittarius cusp, which is a big video of mine, one of my better videos. So if any of you ever see this and you're from Indonesia, and you might, I don't know if you see a subtitle or if this is translated for you. I hope it is. But let me know. Tag me in a comment or something, and let me know that you are from Indonesia and that you saw this. I think that's so cool, because it's 35%. So if I took away the 35% of my views in the last 30 days, that's significant. So I really Really appreciate that. Second is the US, United States, which is great because generally speaking, every 6 weeks or so when I look at my views, the United States is usually way down on the countries, which is interesting. I'm not usually as popular with the United States. Right now, it has me at 12.5%. So 12 of you out of 100 are averaging watching me, about 12 out of 100 viewers. And then Bangladesh is the third country, which I find fascinating. That's so cool. And I don't know what, I'm sorry, I don't know what language you speak, but if anyone knows anyone from Bangladesh or you see this, please let me know because I would love to know from you as well. What kind of astrology do people study or practice in Bangladesh? Is it more Western, Eastern? I have no idea. I would love to know that. That would be so cool. And that's 10%. So that's 10 out of 100. So that's pretty cool too. The next, so these are the top three: Indonesia, US, and Bangladesh. Thank you very much. Very cool countries. The fourth one is Venezuela. So Venezuela counts for also 10% or 10 out of 100 viewers. And next, number 5 would be Egypt. So Egypt's only 6%, would be only 6 out of 100. But Egypt, that's pretty cool. It's pretty far from the United States. So I appreciate that. And then rounding it out, I have Argentina at 5% of the views. 4% of my views come from Nepal. 1.5% right now are from Algeria. 1.3% from the Ukraine. Thank you. I wish you peace in that whole area of the world, no matter what's happening or who's to blame. I wish you all so much peace. We need a lot more peace, and the wars is just the orchestration in the world. The orchestrations in the world, it's not music to my ears, that's for sure. And we need more peace, and that's not an empty sentiment. Everyone has choice to contribute to that. And the last after Ukraine, my lowest 1% of you, so that means 1 people averaging out of 100 are watching me from Ecuador. So thank you, Ecuador. So from Indonesia at 35 all the way down to Ecuador at 1. And then there's probably a couple other countries where there might be 1 stray view here and there in the last 30 days. But, you know, it's interesting with this whole YouTube thing. It just changes so much. And I watch some very established YouTubers in the astrology community and also in other types of content. And some of these men and women that are really established and doing really well will talk about how they don't get it. They don't get the YouTube thing. And I guess YouTube's always shifting the way they work their algorithm. And a lot of it depends on the month, the holidays, promotions, advertising, obviously all the companies that advertise on these channels. When you skip an ad, you know, all the channels that are monetized. So there's a heck of a lot for me to learn. But it feels good to know that there's people that are established they're still learning how to figure it out. I was watching a tech YouTuber a couple weeks ago that was my age, and he was saying he's been doing YouTube for 10 years, 7 of which he's been doing full time. So he started part time and went to full time. He's been doing it, creating for 7 years in his office. Doesn't go to any other job. Can you imagine? 6-7 days a week. And he said he still can't figure out the YouTube algorithms. So there's a mystery to there. But there are a lot of good coaches and mentors on YouTube and X that can help people. So it's interesting. It's just a process. We just got to keep it going. All right, so we still only have 2 people. All right. Well, I'm just going to hang out as long as I'm not tired. I'm just going to keep talking. I plan to probably be on here until about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, New York time is 8:32, and we could just hang out a little bit and see if anyone else comes on. Hopefully in the future we could get, a dozen people and get conversation going. And eventually I'd like, in the live streams, I'd like somebody to give me, give me an example. Like if they had a reading from someone, if they had their chart read, or they had a reading, a verbal reading, a cold reading from a psychic, a tarot, or astrologer, and they know their chart, I would love for them to give me something to work with. Like say, hey, my rising sign is this, my sun sign is this, and we could talk about that, and definitely do that. But right now, so today is December 23rd, 2023. And as I showed you before, this is the wheel. So this is just an astrological wheel in tropical astrology. So there's many astrologers that use this technique, and there's many that don't. Or they use somewhat of a technique, and they combine it with other systems. But generally speaking, right now in the sky, what I really, really like is the sign of Capricorn. My niece was born on the 22nd, yesterday. And so she's a solstice girl. And the Capricorn Sag cusp, which I just did 2 videos, you can check those out. The Sag Capricorn cusp is a very interesting, heavy cusp, because you combine Sag, which is a fire sign. The fire signs are passionate and direct and love to express energy. And Capricorn is more guarded and more reserved and a little slower. So when you have the Sag Capricorn cusp, this was actually one of the videos that I got the most comments from. So when you have Sag and Capricorn, the Sagittarius is the horse, the archer, and the centaur. So you have that sort of shooting for the stars, right? And then you have Saturn, which rules Capricorn. So most people that have studied astrology, even beginners, will know how much astrologers talk about Saturn, and the mythology of Saturn and the god archetypes and all that. And that's really deep. Maybe we'll go into a video about that. But the Saturn is so different than the Jupiter god-like energies of fire. So Saturn is controlled. But the interesting thing is Sag sees the big picture. So a Sagittarius person looks at life, or looks at their problem with a big picture. Capricorn does not. Capricorn looks at the steps and the structure of what needs to be done. And Capricorn, no matter how long it takes, Capricorn will do things step by step and do it properly, so that they attain and climb, because they're the mountain goat or the sea goat or sea fish. So they're always climbing and moving towards heights. So when you combine Sag and Capricorn, you get this enthusiasm and inspiration with this hard work and taskmaster of Saturn. So people on this cusp can really, really accomplish a lot. So I bring that up because being in Capricorn, so many people that, if you're born today, let's say the 23rd, you're born tomorrow, or you're born on Christmas, you are a Capricorn, at least according to my system. But that you're not a true Capricorn. And what I mean by that is you are on the cusp, or at least I believe in that. In my opinion, you are on the cusp. So you're going to be a Capricorn person with basically a more earthy, serious identity with some Sagittarius traits. Whereas if you were born a few days before, if you were born like on December 20th or the 19th, let's say, you'd be a late Sag. You would be a Sagittarius identity with some Capricorn traits, because you're coming up on Capricorn. But we're in Capricorn time right now. And for those of you that have a birthday between now and right around January 21st, again, it depends on your time, and it depends on the country and town you were born in. So all that matters. And I get a lot of comments where people will say, oh, I don't agree with what you said. You said I'm born on this day. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Sag, or I think I'm a Sag, not a Capricorn. So it really depends. You really have to look it up. And you can do that yourself. You can go online and do a calculator. But the better thing to do is find a man or woman that practices astrology that you agree with, and have them print that out or show you. And because it's really cool, because here, this is why astrology is so fun. You know, the 1 degree of Capricorn is it's a what's called like a critical degree, and that's the definition for another video. But basically, it just means most astrologers agree that when they see a planet that's 29 degrees, 1, 2, it's at a critical point, and then it's very, very heightened in terms of how the chart, how it plays with the other planets and signs in the chart. And that's really what deep dive astrology is. Because, you know, sun sign astrology from the 60s and 70s, especially in the States, about people saying, hey, what's your sign? You know, and obviously I do videos on the signs. So the sun sign is very important. But as many of you probably know, if you watch this at a later point, you have the moon sign in your chart, you have rising or the ascendant. So like in today's chart, if there was a baby born at 8 o'clock tonight in New York, he or she would have Leo rising right here. So they would be a Capricorn with Leo rising, and their moon would be in beautiful, calm Taurus. So I don't know if any of you noticed, but today felt a lot calmer to me than the whole last 2 weeks. And I don't know if that's because we went into Capricorn and we have the moon in our earth sign, sun and moon and earth. Also, Virgo's here on the second house. But we have a lot of earth here. The moon did conjunct Uranus, so you'll see a lot of astrologers talking about that. And that can definitely shake things up with emotions. And because it's Taurus, it can be possibly having to do with possessions, and it could shake things up financially as well for you. So it's really, really interesting. For those of you that are new to astrology, if you see this at a later date, if you're new to astrology, get your chart done. And there's so much in here. There's so much in here. And depending on what man or woman astrologer you talk to, he or she will see all sorts of different things, and they'll intuit different things. Nobody's approach is necessarily right or wrong, although some astrologers are very critical about other astrologers about doing certain techniques. But you know what? The bottom line with that is, again, if you don't feel comfortable with someone, with your information, you don't have to. I've had psychic readings. I've had so many readings in my life. I've had psychic readings, tarot readings, life readings, astrology readings, all the above, the whole gamut. And the majority of them have been helpful. But I've had a couple here and there, a few here and there, where I didn't care for, you know, the practitioner or the person doing it, even if they were knowledgeable. I didn't like the chemistry, or not necessarily that I didn't agree with it, but it just didn't feel comfortable. So that's an important thing with astrology. And the biggest thing I think for beginners, I know there's a lot of astrologers now, they're doing courses online. I might do that at some point. But when you're starting out, you really got to get the basics down. You don't want to kind of jump ahead. And even if you're really, really smart or have a great memory, you don't want to jump ahead and start, you know, reading this chart and trying to figure everything out. You really want to get the basics down with the sun signs. In my case, it's the zodiac, the 12 signs. So like you have the 12 houses here. It's tropical, geocentric tropical astrology with the wheel. And so that's really how you have to start. You just have to start slowly. And if you start slowly, you'll get it. And then you'll pick it up. You'll pick it up at your own pace. And once you see how it works, it's just amazing. And I don't have to explain that I think most astrologers realize how amazing it is when you discover astrology and you discover how it really works. Even if you're suspicious, skeptical, closed-minded as a teenager or into your early 20s in college or grad school, if you get it and you see how it works and you use it in the right ways, it is an amazing tool. But it is just a tool. It's not everything. I've had astrologers that have done readings for me that are beyond my level, that are definitely beyond my level of skill, that have told me, like, your natal chart, your birth chart is a blueprint, but it's not set in stone. You can move beyond it, right? We can choose to grow every day. You can choose to grow in certain ways, or you can choose not to grow. You can choose to stagnate. So the natal chart is a blueprint. There's certain strengths and weaknesses that are kind of embedded in here. And like I said, a baby that was born at 8 p.m. tonight, this is his or her chart, which is pretty cool. But yeah, there's strengths and weaknesses, and you just have to find out. You have to be open-minded with yourself so that you can acknowledge the weaknesses. And then if you acknowledge what your weaknesses are, astrology and other tools that are similar, psychology, sociology, tarot, Reiki, healing, meditation, you can put it all together and you can get answers. You can get answers from here, which is really, really, really cool. So let's see what time we're going on here. Carrie Lynch says, thanks, super helpful. You are welcome. You're welcome. Tell all of your friends, please. But yeah, it's really, really cool. And another thing I'm considering doing, when I looked at the viewers, my ages, I generally check, when YouTubers do a video, they have to check if their video is appropriate for children under 18 or not. And there are very, very strict laws now with all kinds of media consumption about children that are under 13 or 14 consuming content. So all the companies have really, really strict about that. So I generally don't say anything in my videos that are too severe, but just in case, I check that I check my videos that it's not for kids. But I could certainly do a video for minors, and I could help parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles or guardians to know your child better. So maybe I'll do that in the new year. I'll do a sign video, or like a beginning sort of sign video for kids, maybe. Who knows? I know my daughter would like to help me with that. she's got some awesome ideas, and yeah, I think I might do that. But let's see, what else are we going to talk about? I'm just going to hang out here a little more. It's 8:45. I guess we'll do another 50, maybe 10, 15, if I don't fall asleep here. It's getting a little late, but this is fun. I'm just testing out the live stream here. I've been watching a lot of podcasts and live streams to try to get ideas, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I don't know why I haven't. I've had a lot of technical difficulties, and I've been super busy. That's what everybody says, right? There's time. You just got to make for it. But one of the biggest things I want to mention for everyone for the new year, and this kind of goes with my astrology coaching, the coaching part, is some people just give readings about the energy, right? You see a tarot person or someone with crystals or something, and they're giving a reading and they're feeling certain energy with you. So they're giving a reading on the energy or the energy that's exchanged. But I'm there, but I always have a coaching, it's just me. I have a coaching bent towards it, which is pragmatic and practical that you can apply, which is great. Because no matter how dreamy we get with the stars, it's really important for us to be grounded. Grounding is so important. However you do that, with grounding products or putting your feet in the grass or the sand in the beach, and just keeping yourself grounded. But don't forget to dream. Don't forget to dream, and don't forget to aspire to things, especially since we were just in Sagittarius, which is probably the most aspiring sign for goals. And now we're in Capricorn, which to me is the hardest working sign. You know how they said James Brown, do all of you know who James Brown was? They said he was the hardest working man in show business. Well, I would probably say that Capricorn's probably the hardest working sign in the business. You know, not all Capricorns are super ambitious, but there's something about Capricorn planets that, you know, I don't have major Capricorn in my chart. I might have in a past life, if you agree with that. I agree with that. I believe in that. So I might have had Capricorn in my past life. But Capricorn, which we're in now, any of you that are Capricorn, you know how serious you can get with your mind and your body, and how, like, you got to get things done. You want to do things well at work or for your community or for a team. It's like, whoa, Capricorn, you need to give yourself a break sometimes. Capricorns have standards. Usually there's high standards there for themselves. And I admire the Capricorn ambition and the perseverance. Capricorn is one sign that generally they say they're going to do something, it'll get done. It might not get done quickly, and it might look slow, or even boring or stodgy to other signs. But Capricorn's like thinking in their mind, they won't say it, but Capricorn's thinking, just wait and see, you'll see my results. So yeah, Capricorn, I'll talk about that. We'll talk about more about Capricorn in the next live stream. Hopefully I can get some Capricorn people, because I'll be doing, my next video will definitely be, I'll be talking about just true Capricorn, true Capricorn period, which starts right around the 26th or 27th of December, through that first week of January. That's the Capricorn first decanate, the Saturn decanate. So that's true Capricorn people. But yeah, Capricorn's really serious. In a lot of ways, Capricorn's too serious for me. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're too serious for themselves. But Capricorn is an amazing sign. And here's another thing to keep in mind with astrology. So if you're born in the next month, you're a Capricorn sun, your sun sign, your zodiac sign. But you could have a Capricorn moon. You could have a Capricorn Venus, rising, Mars. So that seriousness and that ability to be reliable and people can count on you can show somewhere else in the chart. So like, for example, Mercury is retrograde right now. So things are going to slow down. They don't really stop. Some people think Mercury retrograde, the position in the sky is where the orbit actually stops, but it's really just slowing down to refine what's going on. It's still in process. It's just slowing down, and it will go back into Capricorn. And that's a very serious placement, Mercury in Capricorn. But it has a dry sense of humor. So that's Capricorn's kind of secret weapon, is a dry sense of humor sometimes. But I'll talk more about Capricorn in a future live stream. And so there's all different planets. The signs can show up anywhere in your chart. Other signs, even though you're not that sun sign, you're not that zodiac sign. So that's something to keep in mind. And sometimes when someone does a reading for someone in astrology, someone will say, wow, people tell me I'm not at all like a Taurus. I'm not stubborn. You know, Taurus is earth, Taurus is the bull, Taurus can be stubborn. Some people will say, I'm a Taurus. Boy, I'm not even stubborn. And then you look at their chart and they have a stellium or a grouping, which is like 3 or 4 planets in another sign that totally changes their energy or loosens them up or is more flexible. So there's so much to put together there. And there's before I finish the live stream, there's 2 channels that I'd like to shout out. Hold on one second. Let me see here. Okay, so there's two channels. Well, there's more than two, but just I want to think about giving a shout out to this. Check out the Supernova Meditation Project. Chris, she is a multi-talented musician, singer, songwriter, artist, meditation practitioner. So she's has a very unique channel where she puts together these very interesting, cool, short video meditations based on the signs and keys and notes of music, which is so interesting to me because I am such a deep, deep music person, although I don't have a deep understanding of the chords. I have basic understanding of the chords, but not deep understanding. So it's really interesting. So check out her channel. She's all over social media. She's on YouTube. She's on X. I'm not sure about Instagram, but Supernova Meditation Project. And Chris, if you watch this, hi. I appreciate you reposting some of my stuff. I really appreciate that. Hope you all are doing okay in Canada. I know you've had some troubles this year, and hope you're all well. And then another channel I like is a astrologer named Eric Taylor, and he's Big E. I believe it's Big E or Big 3. I think he changed it from Big 3 to Big E because he's Eric. It's cool. Big E Astrology. So I watch him. He's great. He's very established. He's done, he's done over almost 200 live streams. He does charts, and he's amazing. He's an amazing astrologer, and he's kind of similar in some ways to some of my techniques. But I enjoy some of his videos. So Eric, one love. You're doing a great job, and you're doing a good service. You're doing your Virgo work. I know you said you're a Virgo, and you are, boy, the level of detail that he goes to is like, whoa, over my head. Detail. I'm detailed, but not. I'm not detailed like someone with Virgo or stelliums in Virgo. Definitely not. And and Chris from Supernova Meditation Project, she's a Libra, so she's definitely got the whole Venus thing, the Venus vibe going on with her. So check those out. There's a lot of other people that I respect, and I learn from, and I'm trying to get ideas from as well. Share ideas, collaborate. It's what it's all about. And whether it's a small channel like mine that has almost 400 subscribers, hopefully I'll hit 400 before the new year, or someone that has 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers or 50, the amount of subscribers, you can learn something from any channel if the person presents it in a certain way that you're receptive to. So don't just look at the big channels. I don't watch just big people with big channels. I love to watch people that have 200 subscribers or 500 or 1,000, because you just never know. You just never know. And you want to support the people that are up and coming as well. It's kind of like supporting Small Business Saturday. So if you think about all of us that are the small microscopic channels, whether we're trying to make money with them or not, it's kind of we're small microscopic businesses, really, or a lot of us are kind of solopreneurs or entrepreneurs, solo, or maybe with one other person, with a spouse, or with maybe a sibling or something, or possibly a friend part-time. But those are things that are very important. And again, that brings me back to please, please, please subscribe. So those of you, 98% of you out of 100 are watching videos and not subscribing. So it could be a matter of not seeing the subscribe button or forgetting to. But definitely keep that in mind. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. We've got about 3 minutes. My voice is getting a little dry here. We're almost an hour in. So for the last 3 minutes, I want to thank the two of you that are in this room. Thank you, Carolyn, and thank you, Carrie. I truly appreciate it. It starts, right? It takes a village, but it starts small. And let's hope that 2 turns into 4. We square them, right? What's 2 squared? I would have to ask my daughter this. What's 2 times 2? That's 2 squared, right? And then if I have 4, what's 4 squared? 16. 16, yeah, and then it gets really big, right? That's how math works. It's exponential, which is really, really cool. But yes, I want to grow. I'm going to try to plan. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing these live streams every week. I will try. It will be at least bi-weekly, at least 2 a month. I'll do probably for an hour like I did tonight. And then if I do on the off week, maybe I'll do maybe a 15-minute, like just a short one where I take a question or a comment and I will talk about that comment and I'll respond to your comment. So please leave me comments in my videos if you're watching, and I'll respond to your comments and maybe give you like a short mini reading on your chart or your loved one's chart, and try to answer your question. That's what I'll probably do on the short streams. And on the long streams, whatever comes up. I mean, I have a basic guideline, but we could talk about whatever, wherever it takes us, wherever the energy takes us, because that's what it's all about. But definitely, I want to send a shout out to those channels that I mentioned before, and shout out to all the astrologers on YouTube and X and Instagram that are doing a lot of good work. And there's a lot of funny astrologers too, especially on Instagram and X, doing little shorts, doing silly videos. Astrology can get very serious. And, some astrologers are super serious and some are super silly. And then a lot of us are right in the middle and we're blending it. We're blending the learning. Learning should be fun, but some people take it, really serious. So it's really good to have some of these creators doing some funny videos about the signs, especially this time of year. So that brings me to my last point. I want to wish all of you happy holidays, whatever country you're in, whatever religion you subscribe to, whether it's Hanukkah, Christmas, Buddha, whatever it is. I just wish you well. There's no right or wrong religion. It's what you vibrate with. You got to just find what you vibrate with. So I wish you well, and I will try to do a live stream next week before the new year, to wish everyone a happy new year. So that's Astroscoop's first live stream. We're exactly 1 hour, and I'm tired, so I'm going to go to sleep soon. Getting older, but thank you so much, everybody. Thank you to Carrie and Carolyn. I appreciate you ladies. I love you. Sending out the love. And hopefully see you all next week. See you soon. Be well.